guys, welcome to linguamarina. It is nice to meet you. Or is it nice to see you? This is the phrase that we tend to overuse. So in this video, we're gonna talk about other ways you can say nice to see you or nice to meet you. But before we go into the other phrases, let me explain something to you. When you say nice to meet you in English, that means that you see someone for the first time. And this is actually when you introduce yourself to them, when you learn about their name and who they are. I know that in some languages, when you say meet someone, you actually mean that you were hanging out with them. In English, you need to say meet for dinner or meet for lunch. Do you want to meet for lunch? In case you want to say that you want to hang out with this person. Because if you say I want to meet you, this would mean that you would like to meet that person for the first time. So be really careful. I would like to meet you there. I would like to meet you for lunch. I would like to meet you for dinner, for coffee. That implies that you know a person and you want to hang out. When you meet someone, you learn their name, you're like, oh, great. And this is basically the only circumstance when you say it's nice to meet you, because you met them for the first time.
Nice to meet you.
Now, another mistake that people make because they confuse this word meet is when they hang out with someone for many times and then they spend another dinner together and in the end they say it was nice to meet you. That's, again, might sound really weird because you only say it's nice to meet you when you first met that person, but you can say it was nice to see you.
So,
It was nice to see you.
it was nice to see you too.
Which totally makes sense in this situation. But these two phrases are very basic, and because on this channel I like to dig deeper into language, I like to explore where we can go with different phrases. We're gonna talk about ways to replace those two. Because this video is about meeting people for the first time, your task is to comment down below which city are you watching from. Now start commenting and let's start learning. Now let's start with a phrase either great to meet you or glad to meet you. Hi, I'm Anna. I think we're in the same creative writing class. Oh yeah, hi, I'm Marina. Great to meet you.
Great to meet you too.
If you want to sound more British, use word lovely. I think British people just love this word. I remember my British friends would always say, lovely cup of tea, what a lovely trip. It's just this word that is widely used by the British people. So British people like to say it was lovely to meet you or lovely meeting you.
Well, it was lovely to meet you.
It was lovely meeting you in person.
Basically, what you can do with this phrase is put any adjective that you like. Good to meet you, lovely to meet you, wonderful to meet you, nice to meet you. And this way you make up as many phrases as you want. If you want to sound formal, you can say, pleasure meeting you. It was a pleasure to meet you. Whenever I say this phrase, I just imagine people wearing suits, shaking hands. Pleasure meeting you. Yeah, whenever we have a meeting at a bank or with an investment fund, pleasure meeting you. Very formal. Pleasure meeting you.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
We live in an era where everybody is on Zoom, virtual calls, and I do a lot of those, and I meet a lot of people through Zoom. People tend to wrap up those online meetings with a phrase, it was great connecting with you, because basically we connected through internet, through Zoom. And it's not really meeting, it is meeting, but I don't know, I miss in-person meetings. So I don't want to call this Zoom situation a situation where I actually meet a person. So I always tell whoever I'm talking to, it would be great to meet you in real life. Whenever you're in Silicon Valley, let me know. And it was great connecting with you today. And another phrase I just wanted to tell you so you know this phrase, whenever you're introduced to a person and you're meeting them for the first time, it is a great way to show that person you actually appreciate meeting them. You can say, I've heard great things about your company, or I've heard great things about you from Claire. She told me everything about your videos, or I've heard great things about what you're doing. It just creates this context for another person and makes them feel more welcome.
I've heard such great things about you.
Now let's go to the second part. In the second part, we're gonna talk about phrases that you can use to open up a meeting with someone you've met before, but you haven't seen them for a while. And these phrases just highlight, again, that you care about the person, that you genuinely remember the last time you saw them and you regret it's been a while and you're highlighting it meaning that you're happy to see them again. Let's learn those phrases. Great phrase to open a meeting with a person you haven't seen for a while. You can say, long time no see.
Long time no see.
And you can also use it when you talk to someone over the phone. Long time no speak. Another phrase to open a meeting with a person you haven't seen for a long time would be, oh, hi, Sheena. I haven't seen you for a year. Oh, yes, Marina, it's been a while. When was the last time I saw you? Oh my God, 2018. It's been a while. Just to highlight how much time has passed since you last saw this person.
It's been a while.
Another phrase, people use it a lot for kids or for dogs. I'm thinking of like different situations, and the more I think, the more situations involving kids come to me when I talk about this, when I think about this phrase. The phrase is, look who's here. So I would tell this to Emily, my daughter, or I would tell it to a very, very close friend. Now, I don't think you would really walk into a business meeting and see your colleague and be like, oh, look who's here, because it's a bit informal. I would say mostly for kids and animals and very, very close friends.
Look who is here.
I haven't seen you for ages is another phrase. And by the way, these phrases are great conversation openers. So whenever you're greeted by a person who says, it's good to see you, and you're like, oh yeah, it's been a while. This is like the way you respond to the phrase, it's great to see you, or it's the way that you start this conversation about how happy you are to see them. So this phrase would normally come second or third in your conversation. Oh, hey, Lucy, how are you? It's been a while. Yay, how are you doing? Haven't seen you for ages. Something like that. You know, just again, letting the other person know how happy you are to see them. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up with a really weird phrase. I haven't really seen it a lot, but it definitely exists, and I just want you to know all the weird phrases as well, just because sometimes you hear them in a movie and you're like, what the heck just happened? I've never learned that phrase. So here you go. Look what the cat dragged in. Now let's look about where this phrase is coming from. What did the cats drag into the house? Dead mice, dead birds, dead animals. So be very careful with this phrase. Be very careful when you use it, only with close friends. I wouldn't really use it. I would just remember it, know that it's there. So whenever somebody says it, you know that they're actually happy about seeing you. But basically the phrase is used, look what the cat dragged in. Good to see you too. So basically it implies that somebody came to the room unexpectedly and you are highlighting this fact.
Well, look what the cat dragged in.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video up to the very end. Please share it with your friends who are learning English. It was nice to meet you, everyone who watched this channel for the first time. I hope you subscribed. It was great seeing you guys, everyone who saw my videos before. And again, I hope you subscribed and liked this content. See you very soon in my next videos. Bye bye.